Toto was a shy bum who wasn't chat enough to talk to girls, so he joined a freaky all-girls party and starts clapping them. It all begins when the demon lord summons his daughter, Seal, to unalive the hero named Toto. Right after the briefing, Seal heads out of the demon realm, excited that she finally gets to see the outside world and taste freedom. And all she has to do is take out one person, so she looks forward to it, thinking it'll be easy. Elsewhere, Anemone, a notorious assassin, gets paid for a recent job well done and is immediately assigned Toto as her next target. But when she finds out she'll have to disguise herself as a priestess to pull it off, she refuses on the spot, until her client offers 100 million coins. Then she changes her mind in an instant, promising that Toto will rest in peace. At the same time, while Gao, a certified plot mistress, takes pleasure in clapping her human pets and making them climax several times over, some dude barges into her clubhouse, asking why she's into that kind of business for herself. But before he can attack her, Gao has him restrained, clapped, and forced to let out cultural sounds against his wish, and just like that, he ends up as one of her pets. Gao finds it pretty amusing that she can tame a big dude like that, but when she demands a more suitable pet candidate, her girls come up with the perfect option. Meanwhile, in a small town called Fromner, Toto enters the Adventurers Guild and tries to form a party with two dudes, and everyone's excited to see him since he's supposed to be a big deal. But that's all a lie, since in reality, Toto can barely hold a conversation because he's super shy, and when he finally works up the courage to ask them, they run off in fear. This really bothers Toto since he'd imagined everything going smoothly. But before he can feel sorry for himself, Gao, Seal, and Anemone show up and ask him to form a party with them. Toto is shocked, but not as much as the guys in the guild, who can't believe Toto is chat enough to get attention from hot baddies like that. As Toto tries to summon the courage to respond, Gao grabs onto him, and the moment he sees her mutated plots, his brain basically explodes and he passes out. While he's out cold, Seal takes the chance to snatch him from the guild using her powers. But even with her speed, Anemone and Gao easily catch up. When she gets a clear shot, Anemone uses her machine gun to fire multiple shots at Seal, but Seal blocks and repels all shots fired. At some point, Gao stops attacking and proposes a truce, which both Seal and Anemone accept, only for the girls to realize a bit too late that Gao's paralyzing perfume has kicked in. However, before Gao can enjoy having Toto all to herself, she realizes she's cooked because Seal loses control of her summoning spell and a large monster shows up to unalive everyone. Terrified, Gao tries to chicken out at the last minute, but the girls, despite being paralyzed, grab onto her so they can all die together. As the monster dives in to have them as a quick snack, Toto shows up from nowhere and takes it out in one nasty strike. Perfect! Leaving the scared chicks with wet pants. Despite initially wanting to kill him, the girls are happy to be saved by him. But the moment they try to reward him with a sloppy toppy, his brain explodes again, and the girls decide not to unlive him just yet, especially since Seal has fallen in love. But deep down, all three girls want to have Toto to themselves for obvious reasons. When he finally regains consciousness, they buy him lunch, and while they eat, the chicks introduce themselves with fake intentions for him. As for Toto, he imagines dropping a nice intro that wins Gao's heart, but in reality, he struggles while promising to protect them no matter what. Gao makes things worse by sampling his sword, so when his brain explodes again, she makes the other chicks reveal why they are after him. Anemone says she was paid to unalive him. Seal says she wants to unalive him to gain freedom. But Gao's case is different since she's a plot mistress bent on making him her pet. Realizing the competition, Anemone backs out of the chase, saying that she's not getting paid enough to become a pick-me baddie with a gun. But it's a lie because when she leaves, she grabs her sniper and picks a suitable spot to take Toto out. As she scrambles for Toto's position, she sees a girl getting sold to some worthless dude and decides to intervene. Using a smoke bomb, she distracts the men long enough to save the girl. Before sending her off, Anemone gives her some money and senses one of the guys she had targeted approaching from behind. When she turns around, she notices that the guy isn't even human, seeing that he looks like Temu's Frankenstein stuffed into a suit. What did you say, nigga? Frankie demands payment in the form of acts of service, claiming she's cost him money by letting the girl go. But before he knows it, Anemone lands a nasty strike on him, which he barely manages to dodge. When she follows up with a brutal kick that sends him crashing into the wall, the monster realizes she's no joke and finds himself dodging like mad just to keep his head and sacks together. When he's finally had enough of her BS, he activates his powers and launches multiple tentacles at her, only for them to get sliced into pieces. But the pieces regenerate and come at Anemone again, trying to double clap her from behind, until Toto shows up out of nowhere and one-shots the monster with a punch that completely takes him out. Shocked and curious, Anemone asks how he even found her, but when the dude just whispers that he promised to protect her, she blows him a kiss, and as expected, his brain blows up for the millionth time.
Oh shit, here we go again.
While he's out cold, Seal and Gao appear from a corner and start teasing Anemone for blowing a kiss, but she just brushes them off like it's nothing. At some point, Seal asks why she didn't just headshot Frankie with her sniper, and Anemone says she didn't want the kid to see the guy die. She hates how rotten the world is and swears she'll change it with all the money she earns from unaliving people, which is exactly why she decides to unalive Toto while he's unconscious. But to her surprise, the moment her blade touches his skin, it shatters, and when she notices Gao and Seal saw the whole thing, she quickly claims it's just because she's tired. Gao, seeing straight through the lies, suggests they all rest at her inn. But when they get there, Toto's brain pretty much climaxes the second he hears that he'll be sharing rooms with them. After that, Anemone exits the room since she isn't interested in sharing or playing scissors all night, while Seal reluctantly follows behind her, leaving an unconscious Toto alone with Gao. Right then, Gao gets the freakiest thought and decides to inject Toto with a special serum designed to turn him into her pet. While she waits for the drug to kick in, she goes to take a shower, only to come out 5 minutes later and see that Toto is still unconscious. In a sick quest to wake him up, she exposes her plots and whips him multiple times until he eventually gives in and succumbs to Gao's charm. Seeing this, Gao serves him her feet, ordering him to feast. But to her surprise, Toto dives on her and restrains her movements, aiming for the spot. It shocks Gao that he's trying to resist her charm, but she finds herself letting out cultural sounds when Toto presses hard on her. However, before her floodgates can spiral out of control, Toto regains himself, and when he sees her mutated plot up close, his entire nervous system shuts down and he passes out again. While he's out, Gao confides in Anemone and Seal, bothered that Toto somehow managed to resist her. But Anemone casually says that maybe it's because it might not fit. Seal can't help but laugh after hearing this, but Gao takes pleasure in the fact that she's made new friends who are not scared of her. After they spend all night playing scissors, Toto wakes up the following morning and sees them asleep. And when he realizes that what happened last night was no dream, his brain explodes again. Later that morning, Goa wakes up and is happy that she got to sleep well the night before, thanks to what happened with Toto and the girls. But when Seal tells her she overslept, she points to Toto, who lies passed out in all the blood that went missing from his head last night. On taking a closer look at Toto, Anemone wonders what could have caused him to bleed out like that, but Goa just smiles and reveals the drug she used on him. Seeing this makes Anemone and Seal wonder if she wants to pull a fast one on Toto behind their backs, but each of them makes it clear that they'll be the one to unalive Toto. Right then, Toto regains consciousness, but rather than let the poor dude's brain boot, the girls greet him with their plots on display, and he passes out after his brain is cooked again. After Toto finally wakes up, he joins Goa and the girls for breakfast, but when they are done, Goa starts yapping about how she'd like to go on an adventure. While she speaks, Toto wonders if he can handle juggling 3 hot baddies at the same time, since he passed out from being with just one. However, before he can process clapping all 3 of them, Seal turns to him and asks if something's up, and he struggles to say he is fine. But after taking another look at their beautiful plots and remembering that he promised to protect them, he tells them he'll do his best. After that, Anemone curiously asks where they are headed next, and Goa leads the way to the Adventurers Guild, hoping to get their newly formed party registered. During the registration process, Goa asks Toto to fill in his name as the party's leader, and the request takes him by surprise. But once he's done filling the form, he panics and slams his face on the counter, only because he wanted to thank the receptionist for being nice to him.
You weird, buddy.
After that, Anemone wipes him clean, and Seal pretty much tells him to ease up and act like a leader since he's won now, and Toto apologizes for acting out of line. Within minutes, the registration process is complete, and Toto checks out the signed party document outside. He gets excited because, for the first time, he is now officially part of a registered party, while Goa insists that they start adventuring immediately. She mentions that she hopes to reach the A rank and get fancy guild cards, but since Anemone and Seal's brains are on Do Not Disturb, she ends up explaining how the level up system works, beginning from the lowest E rank to the final S rank. She adds that rookies start from E rank, and to defeat the Demon Lord or anything similar, one would have to work hard to increase their rank. Then she points to a board, explaining that they can get jobs there to level up, and if they complete difficult tasks, their ranks will increase. But for now, they are stuck with slime hunting and collecting herbs. However, when Goa reveals that it would take years to reach the top rank, Seal snaps because she finds it absurd. But when she notices that Anemone is cool with it, she hugs Toto pretty tight, so she can have a private conversation with the girls after he passes out. Of course, Bro's brain cooks, and while he's out, Seal reminds the girls that they are not there to raise their ranks, but to unalive Toto instead. The moment she questions the need for adventuring, Goa and Anemone see that there's no point in wasting their time, so Anemone suggests that they alternate turns in unaliving Toto every day. Seal is on par with her suggestion, but she agrees only on the condition that the girls will not interfere when it's her turn to unalive Toto. With that, they agree to play a game of rock, paper, scissors, and when Seal wins, she waits for Toto to wake up so they can talk. Toto, on the other hand, struggles to start a conversation with her, and even when it makes sense in his head, the only thing he can do is ask about Goa and Anemone. Seal tells him that they are both out looking for jobs, and she stayed back to keep an eye on him while he was passed out. Toto thanks her for staying, and when the atmosphere gets weird again, Seal asks why he wanted to start adventuring in the first place. While she thinks it's for fame or money, Toto finally summons the courage to tell her he's doing it so he can have some confidence in himself. Right now, he thinks that defeating the Demon Lord might give him the courage to talk to people, and although Seal can relate to what he's going through, she smiles and says in her mind that it will be Toto who will be dying today. On the other hand, Toto hates that he keeps passing out because he promised to protect the girls, but instead, they are the ones looking after him. When Seal hears this, she smiles and assumes her pretty girl face, showing off her legs and a few unplotted extras. But the moment she recalls that Toto protected her in the past and tries to thank him, Toto sees her plot and passes out again. While he's out, Anemone and Goa, who have been eavesdropping, tease Seal for falling in love with Toto so fast, but she shuts that down and asks if they've gotten a job yet. Goa speaks of a job from a weapon shop owner, asking to fetch iron ores from a cave, and while Seal goes through the details, she reminds her not to get in her way when she tries to unalive Toto. However, before leaving, Anemone throws shade at her, asking if she should help do Toto since Seal's clearly getting too attached, but Seal claps back without hesitation, calling her a stretched-out excuse of a hole that couldn't hold onto anything hard even if it was nailed in place. As a result, the girls prepare to fight, but Goa steps in and prevents that from happening. Later that afternoon, Toto arrives at a cave to complete a job with the girls, and though he's nervous, he enters first and tells the girls to stay behind him. While inside, Goa and Anemone wonder what Seal has planned for Toto to unalive him, but since Seal clearly underestimates Toto, she uses slimes. Once the slimes show up, Toto takes them out by landing a single punch on them, and after he's done, he walks off to make sure the place is safe. In his absence, Seal talks about his weakness, saying she's noticed that he doesn't carry weapons and might not be able to face an enemy immune to punches and kicks. So when Toto heads back from surveying the cave, Seal uses her magic to integrate the remains of the defeated slime into one big angry mega slime. When Toto attacks it and notices that his punches don't work, he finds himself trapped by the slime and settles to swing it and slam it on the ground. However, rather than stay defeated, the slime regains itself and restrains Toto on a wall so it can eat him. Seeing this, Seal smiles, thinking that she's won. But before she can celebrate Toto's death, the dude yells at the slime to let him go, and just like that, the slime is vaporized instantly. Seal is left shocked after seeing this, and when she admits that she is done trying to unalive Toto, Goa reminds her that they have a job to finish. As time goes on, Anemone finds traces of iron in the cave, but since there are no tools to dig it up, Toto punches the walls instead, leaving her completely shocked. Around sunset, while some D-rank adventurer tries selling iron ore to a weapons dealer, he's shocked when he sees Toto's team arriving with a full sack of it, and runs away in shame. The dealer thanks Toto for the help, and while Toto joins the girls out, Seal curiously asks how he got so strong, only for Toto to reveal that he just lifts weights. This shocks all three chicks as they realize that if Toto is built like a demigod up top, there's a chance he has what it takes to clap their cheeks at the same time. But before they can confirm that, the D-rank adventurer from earlier shows up, asking the girls to ditch Toto and follow him. However, after running a magical X-ray on Toto's pants, he shivers at what he sees and runs away since he can't compete with that. After he leaves, reality hits Toto that he has a long way to go in leading the girls, so he begs them to support him so he can offer moral strength during the day, and oral support by night. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you watched up to this point, let's confuse the fake anime watchers by commenting, "We want unplotted." Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out this next video. It might just be your favorite anime recapped.